Tervetuloa kaikille IDEMIan ja ID-kontrollin Visionpass webinaariin, jossa käsitellään kasvojen tunnistuslukija IDEMIalta ja esityksen pitää John Laws englanniksi IDEMIalta. Welcome everybody to IDEMIA ID Control Visionpass webinar. Our guest speaker is John Laws from IDEMIA and he will do the presentation in English. Tämä esitys nauhoitetaan ja kysymyksiä voi esittää chatin kautta tai sitten lopussa esityksen jälkeen. Odotetaan vielä muutama minuutti ja aloitetaan sitten, kun kaikki ovat päässeet paikalle. This will be recorded. Any questions you have, please send those through the chat box or raise your hand in the end of the presentation and we'll go through the questions. And we'll wait one more minute and then John will start. Okay, now we have waited plenty. John, the stage is yours. Please do your magic.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. As Marco has said, my name is John Laws, and I'm the sales director for IDEMIA, based in the UK, and I cover the region of the UK and Ireland, Northern Europe and Israel. And today, what we're going to talk about is our facial recognition reader for access control and the compliance with GDPR. Okay, so as Marco says, if there's any questions or if I'm talking too quickly, please raise your hand or just shout out and we can discuss. Okay, so here we go. So going to talk about Visionpass. This is the product that is Visionpass. It comes in various different types, which we'll discuss later during the presentation. Some of the features that it has on the device itself. As I said, it's used for access control and or time and attendance, and it's a biometric reader by face acquisition. Okay, facial recognition. As with all of our readers, it has a contactless card reader built in for all of the RFID technologies, low frequency and high frequency. When I say all, I don't want to be misleading. The low frequency is HID prox 125 kilohertz, and the high frequencies are MyFair Classic, MyFair DesFire EV1, EV2, iClass and COS technologies. As you can see, it has a 7-inch touch screen on the front of the device, has anti-tamper sensors built in, and the device itself is IP65 rated, and the screen is IK07 rated. But most importantly, with our device, we have the important thing about facial recognition is the cameras, the sensors, the face sensors that are in the device, and we actually have 3 sensors built into our device. Well, one of the sensors is a standard 2D camera, which enhances the accuracy of the device. We have an IR camera, an infrared camera, that allows this product to be used in, it says here, in low lighting conditions. Now, I've actually tested this device myself, obviously, and I've used it in what I would class quite literally zero light conditions. It was in the basement of an office where there were no windows, and it was literally pitch black. We don't need or ask for any external lighting or any internal lighting built in on the device. The IR camera doesn't need that. It works perfectly well in zero light conditions. But most importantly, the third sensor we have on there is a 3D sensor. We have this built in for extremely high accuracy rates. You can't spoof this device with a picture, a picture on a mobile phone or out of a magazine or a photograph, or indeed a 3D model printed face that comes out of these 3D printers nowadays, because of the liveness detection and the 3D detection that's in there. And that's a really important factor when it comes to looking at facial recognition readers for access control. Now, when we go through the enrollment process, we don't allow the device to decide which is, but due to the environment that the camera is in for enrollment, we don't just allow the device to decide which camera to use according to the conditions. We don't care. We use all three cameras at both enrollment and authentication process. Okay, so you're getting absolute maximum accuracy with our device. And what happens when you go into enrollment mode on our device, up on the screen using Morpho Manager, which is our enrollment software, you'll get this picture here that you see. You'll click on the picture of the face to start the enrollment process. The device asks you to hold still, and it comes up on the computer screen where the software is as well. Asks you to hold still. If you're not in the correct position, you'll receive instructions on the screen, maybe to move a bit closer, move far away, or left or right, whatever it is you need to do. And once you're in position, it enrolls your template. And then it takes this image here in the bottom right of the screen of the green face to start getting what we call points of minutiae, points of interest off what we've enrolled. Okay. So what happens there is when you go into the enrollment process, what's going on behind this? One of the many things that goes on behind the scenes is when you're enrolling. So you stand in front of the device, and as I said earlier on, we use all three cameras for the face acquisition. We then create the template. Okay, at this point, the raw images of the person's face are deleted. We don't keep them. We don't need them. We don't want to keep them. We're not allowed to keep them because of GDPR. Okay, so to get from stage 1 to stage 2, which is the template creation, it is quite literally milliseconds. And what you have here in the template creation are an example of the points of minutiae, points of interest that we've taken. And this is where the IDEMIA algorithm starts working. And as you can see here, we have green dots and red dots. And what that signifies is are the green dots are points of interest that we like and we're going to keep. And we know that they are true points of interest, true points of minutiae. We have these red dots here. Okay, now these would be points that the cameras are picking up that we're not too sure about. We're not 100% sure if they're going to be there a week later, a month later, a year later. So we discard them, we ignore them, because what we don't want to happen is to enroll all the bits of information that we get and then realize a week later these red dots have disappeared, because that would give you a false rejection. Okay, because the device is looking for all of these points of minutiae, and if all of a sudden they're not there, then the device will think, well, this is not the same person that enrolled. So what we do, we get rid of them, and we're left with this what you call a final template consolidation. It's all green dots, as you can see. So that means they're all good points of minutiae, good, nice, interesting points of minutiae that we want to keep and we're going to use. So we keep them, and then what we do then is we encode the template into a binary file. We then encrypt that binary file into AES 257-bit standard, and then you can keep this encoded file on the device itself, or if you want to put it onto a smart card, a 13.56 megahertz card, then you can do that as well. Okay. At no point can this encrypted file be reverse engineered back into the raw image of the face, is because we've deleted these faces, these images. It has nothing to compare it to. So you cannot turn that encrypted file back into a raw image. That's a huge tick box for GDPR. Okay. So because of GDPR, we have to do several things. Okay, with this device, which I'm going to show you in a minute, one of the criteria when you go to authenticate is showing what we call a deliberate trigger. Okay, and what that means is the user has to do something to verify to the machine that they want to be authenticated. So if they're just walking past it across the device, a couple of meters away, and they're going past it, we're not going to try and authenticate them because they're not showing a sign of intent. Okay, we have to do that because of GDPR. Okay, we also allow the right to be forgotten or consent withdrawal. It's very easy to perform that. You just go into our software, our Morpho Manager enrollment software, and you click on the person that wants to be deleted, highlight them, press delete, and everything is gone. Okay. So some other signs of intent or deliberate triggers that we've added into as an option for the user. Okay. We have several different icons that are our options. The user, the end user, has to press the tick box to make sure if they want these deliberate triggers to show. The first one is what we call the walking man icon, and where I say show, this would, if this was activated, it would be on the screen of the device itself. And what would happen is you'd walk up to the screen, up to the device, nothing at all would happen until the person presses this walking man icon, and then it starts going through the authentication process. Or you can have a keypad. Again, you walk up to the device, nothing happens. You press this keypad icon, and then a keypad will appear on the screen. You put in your 4 or 6 digit code, 1234, and then once you've put that in, the authentication process will then start. Finally, if you don't want to use these two buttons, you want to keep the complete contactless solution going, you can have a smart card. You tap the smart card on the reader, and then the authentication process starts happening if that card has been authorized. So power. Okay, this stress at the bottom here in red, this device is not PoE or PoE plus powered. It is by a PSU 12 or 24 volt DC power supply unit. Okay, and this is the power consumption, power draw here. Okay, but I highlight this here. This device I'm talking about today is not PoE or PoE plus supported for power. This is the back of the data sheet. Some things are on here that I haven't mentioned already. For example, out of the box, it comes up with up to 20,000 users, which can be increased by way of license up to 100,000. Okay. As I said, it's IP65 rated and has the Wiegand in and out inputs, OSDP version 2, normal things that you'd expect. The temperature operating conditions, you can see there, we say we go up to 45 degrees. Anything higher than that, it will still work, but I would recommend that it goes into a purpose-built housing just to give it that bit of extra protection. At the end of the day, it's an electrical device, and if it's out in the Middle East somewhere or in South Africa where it's very hot, it's out in broad sunlight all day, every day, it's going to cook. Okay, there's nothing we can do about that. And also, it's ROS, REACH, and WE compliant, as are all of our devices. So it complies with all the green certification that's required nowadays. And here are the 3 different versions that we do. We have the Visionpass MD, which is MyFair and MyFair Classic and DesFire only. This is the RFID capabilities. The MDPI, which is MyFair Classic, DesFire, HID Prox, and iClass CEOS. And we also have Visionpass MDPI-M, which is all of the above: MyFair Classic, DesFire EV1, EV2, HID Prox, iClass CEOS, plus HID mobile access as well. So if you want to hold your credential or your or the credential on your mobile phone, you can have this version here, the MDPI-M. Okay, and nearly finished. All of our products are made and are designed and manufactured in France. They're all designed and built in our own IDEMIA factories. Most importantly, it's all of our own AI technology. It belongs to us. We designed it. We invented, not invent AI, but we designed the AI that's used, and we don't allow that to be used by anyone else. So it's genuine IDEMIA products that you're going to be using. And obviously, all of our products, including the Visionpass, which is what I'm talking about today, are fully GDPR compliant. Okay, so that's it. That's the introduction into Visionpass. Here are my contact details. If you want to ask any questions, or I would suggest you go through Marku first, and then we could discuss what the question is and answer it to the best of our abilities. But if you want to need some more information, some data sheets or PowerPoints or anything like that, then please, don't hesitate to contact one of us, and we'll help you out. Okay, and that's it. Show's over.
Thank you, John. Very interesting, as usual. I have one technical question if no one else has. How is it's when we use OSDP or TCP/IP, is it the same device, or do we need to remember that when ordering the right device?
It's the same device.
That's what I thought. So. All right. Kiitoksia kaikille. Jos ei tule enempää kysymyksiä, niin kiitetään tästä kerrasta. Ja viimeisenä esityksenä on sitten vapun jälkeen meillä Augmented Vision. Ja se päättää tämän kevään IDEMIA-webinaarisarjan. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, John.
Okay.
We have one more webinar to go. It's early May, and there we will go through the Augmented Vision, and that will end the IDEMIA webinar series for this spring. Thank you, everybody, and have an excellent day.
Thanks to you, Marku. Same to you. Same to everyone on the call. Cheerio.
Yeah. Cheerio.